Felicity for GetYourRockOut, talking to the lovely Cristina from Lacuna Coil. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good, thank you very much.
Really glad to hear it. And you're over in London at the moment. I mean, have you been manic? Is it really busy, or have you been enjoying doing photo shoots and press and everything else?
Well, I've been really busy because I've been, I flew in after a festival that we did in Holland with Lacuna Coil, and I just flew directly to London for a couple of days promotion. That has been crazy because I had a lot to do, photo shoot and interviews, but it's always fun because I'm here promoting what I love the most, which is my music. So I was just glad to be here in a beautiful town, which is in London.
Well, that's really, really nice to hear. It is a wonderful, wonderful city. So
it is.
It's not the worst place in the world to be.
No, not at all.
So, obviously you have to do so much when it comes to the way of promotion and press and stuff. Do you still enjoy doing interviews as much as you ever did?
I love it because 99% of the times you're talking with very nice people. And, of course, I'm interested in promoting our music because this is what I love to do. This is my job. But on the other side, I think it's cool to talk with people that you can have a good conversation with. And it's always nice. I mean, I never really encountered assholes in my life, so I cannot really complain. It's a chit-chat, wow. And in the meantime, we're also talking about what I do.
Oh, well, that's really, really nice. It's good that people are good to talk to.
Yeah, it's always good to meet new people and talk about what you do.
Definitely. And you guys, you're actually running a designer T-shirt competition at the moment.
Yes.
Which is just a fantastic way to do things. Why did you decide to do that?
We wanted to do that to leave more space to our fans and to involve them more in our creative process. The only thing is that a lot of them didn't really understand that they had to use their own artwork. Because to pick up a winner, of course, you have to do something that has not been used before. Yeah. You have to use an original design and not something that can be under copyright. So it's been really, really difficult. I don't think they picked up a winner yet because we've seen a lot of designs, but it's a difficult decision to make.
Oh, I can well imagine, but such a nice thing to do.
Yeah, we like to involve our fans. I mean, they're so important to us, and I really mean it. I'm not saying that to be the ass-kisser of the situation because it sounds good, but they know that through our social network and our fan site, we're always in touch with them. We tell them what we do, where we're at, and we're always exchanging stuff with them.
No, I mean, it's brilliant. Obviously, fans do make such a difference.
Yeah, they do.
But how do you cope when fans of, kind of older stuff, when you bring out a new album, how do you cope if some fans are saying, actually, we don't like this as much? Do you find it quite difficult to cope with negative feedback, or do you just have to kind of let it roll off?
Well, I think that everyone likes to but at the same time, this is art, so I'm open to compliments and criticism, and I won't go against whoever will be saying that they don't like our music or they don't like our albums, because there is not one single band in the whole world that everyone likes. So why would be different for us? I mean, every single band in the world has supporters and haters. So it's important for us to deliver an album that is good for us, and then if listeners can share the same taste, this is good. But if they don't, I mean, it's not the end of the world. I mean, there's so many other things in life I care more than that.
Well, that's a good way to look at it. I mean, when you're writing music, are you kind of constantly thinking to yourself, oh, I wonder if our fans are like this, they'll like this sound?
No.
Or do you always write for yourself?
Not at all, because, I mean, if you look at our career, if you look at our albums, we also got a lot of criticisms for putting out songs that weren't 100% in Lacuna Coil style, or at least what people was expecting us to put out. But we've never been afraid because we think that it's really important to keep your roots really strong, alive. But at the same time, you get so many new influences, so many new inputs every day, that if you don't change, that means you don't pay attention to what's happening around you. And I think it's always important to keep your eyes open and your ear very open to new stuff, and let this inspiration come to your albums to come. Of course, without changing your nature, but I think it's important to evolve.
Wonderful. And talking about evolving, Dark Adrenaline is a lot heavier than previous albums.
Yes.
I mean, how did that come about?
You know what? I really don't know, because when we did Shallow Life, one thing we weren't like 100% happy was the fact that in some of the songs the heavier factor wasn't really coming out, even in heavy songs. So we just decided to change the production this time. We worked again with Don Gilmore as a producer because he's amazing. But we did the mixing and mastering in Milano with friends of ours that did a phenomenal job, because we really sit down with them and picked up the sound we wanted to pick up. And what's weird about this album is that unconsciously we brought up a lot of the old vibe of Lacuna Coil. If you listen to songs like Kill the Light, for example, you think about the first albums we put out, just like the vibe of it. And it's kind of crazy because it's nothing planned. It's something that I started to realize after the album has been released, and I started to get different feedbacks from our fans that were like, "Oh my God, it really sounds like, you know, the old Lacuna Coil style, but with a new input, with a new touch to it, with a modern touch to it." And I was like, well, you're right, because, I mean, it's still part of us. No matter how much you evolve, I mean, you're always going to be the same to the core.
Wow. And also, you've got the cover of R.E.M's Losing My Religion on there.
Yes.
I mean, that seems like quite an odd choice to cover, but you know, it's such a fantastic cover that you did. I mean, why did you choose that? And did you know that it would turn out so brilliantly when you did?
No, not really, because we like to cover other people's songs because it's a challenge for you. It's like, because when you write your own music, it is 100% you, because you created it, and nobody can say anything about that, you know, because it's you. But when you do a cover of a song that somebody else has wrote, you're starting from a completely different point of approach, and you're giving your view on that song. So, for example, we changed the music completely. There are still some similarities around the chorus, because obviously you still have to understand what song you were talking about. But the music changed completely. The vocal line in the verses changed completely, and it really sounds like a Lacuna Coil sound with R.E.M. lyrics. And we decided for the song, because the name of the song was already in the list when we did the cover for Enjoy the Silence. We considered different covers, and we thought that it was about time to put out another cover that everyone could sing at our shows, because it's a song that everyone knows. The lyrics are very easy but very intense. It's a very respected band. R.E.M. is a really respected band. And also, we think that it's better if you cover a band that is not in your style, because it wouldn't make any sense to do a metal version of a metal song. A metal cover of a metal song is like, so different.
Fantastic. Getting on to kind of the next few months or so, you guys have got an October UK tour coming up, which we are really, really excited about. What kind of a set list can we expect for this? Is it going to be all newer stuff, or are you going to be really kind of showcasing everything from...
It's going to be basically a mixture of songs. It's going to be representing the history of Lacuna Coil, so we're going to play very old songs from even the first album to nowadays, and it's going to be a 2-hour set. There is going to be an acoustic set right in the middle that will give you a different vibe, and will get the show even more intimate. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind show, kind of stripped down, very, very intimate, as I said. It will be like playing in front of friends. It's going to be really cool. We played it in America, and everybody loved it. So we got a lot of requests to do the same thing in Europe, and here we go.
That sounds brilliant. I'm really, really looking forward to that. I mean, how do you find kind of life on the road? Because you guys, you do a lot of touring.
Yes.
I mean, how do you cope? How do you cope with the tiredness, with the not eating properly? How do you stay in shape?
It's not easy. And I know it might sound weird, because, you know, I believe that whoever has never been on tour and whoever hears about musicians on the road, they're just like thinking about the bright side. So they look at the popularity, the fact that you're playing in front of a lot of people. Of course, you're a privileged person, because you are making a living out of something that you really love. It's a passion of yours that turned into a job. But it's really, really difficult because you're away for months at a time. You have no private life because you don't see your family, you don't see your partner for months at a time. You don't sleep in your own bed, you don't use your own toilet, you don't eat your own food. You kind of have to adjust to a different place every day, and you don't even have the chance to visit the country because you're so busy, in the van, in the venue, or you have to do promotion and signing sessions, and it's not easy. But time, at the same time, on the bright side, time goes by differently than with a regular job. Sometimes a month feels like a week, which is really, really difficult to explain to whoever's never been on tour. Because you go back home and you see things that have changed. Maybe they built a new street, or maybe one of your friends got married, and it's like, wow, I mean, I've been away for a month or 2 or 3, and you don't really realize it.
Wow.
And it's kind of difficult to adjust to your home once you're back there, because you're never there.
No, I mean, how do you kind of cope with that? Because when you're out on tour, it doesn't quite feel like real life. I mean, do you find it really quite hard to change between the two when you do go home?
I got so used to it that I just enter in a different state of mind. It's like when I know that I have to be on tour, that I have to work, I'm in work mode. When I know that I can be home and just like sit on my couch, I go to home mode, and it takes a while. Let's say it takes like a couple of weeks, usually, depending on when you're touring. Because if you're touring in the States or Australia, and the jet lag is kicking in, then it takes a little bit more time.
Wow. I honestly don't know, I mean, how you manage to tour.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's really easy, but every time, like, the girlfriends are coming on the bus, and they're like, oh, I want to get out of here. After a couple of days, they're like, done.
No, it's understandable. I mean, you've toured with some absolutely exceptional acts, and just, such a wide range of people. Do you have one tour that stands out as just the best one that you've done yet?
We have a great memory of the tour we did with Type O Negative, and I mean, I'll always say this forever, because Type O Negative are one of the bands that really, really influenced us as a band. And then we had the chance to meet the guys and tour with them, and they were awesome people, so we became friends. And every time we are like in the New York area and they're home, they're coming to see us. And, we miss Peter so much that it's not even funny. But that was one of the best tours we've ever done, just because we enjoyed it so much. And then I remember Ozfest 2004, which is so far is one of my favorite tours ever.
I mean, we're talking about influences. Obviously, you've been influenced by some, obviously a huge variety. But now, as you're starting to do more stuff, get, bigger in popularity, you're influencing quite a lot of bands yourself. I mean, do you see yourselves like that at all, or is it just completely surreal, the thought that all these people are kind of trying to...
I think it's a circle, because when you start, of course, you're starting because you're influenced by somebody, and then slowly you find your own way and your own personality and your own style. And then other new bands that are coming up can be influenced by us and other bands. But I find it normal. Of course, I find it flattering as well, because I'm really happy when somebody can find some sort of inspiration in our band, because that means that we did something kind of good. If not, there wouldn't be any band influenced by us. But it's an honor, and that's how life is. You're always inspired by somebody.
Yeah, completely. I mean, with you being female as well, that adds a whole new dimension to it. I mean, do you find it really kind of tricky thinking, I'm serving as a role model for all these young girls growing up. I need to make sure that I do that well. Do you find that tough?
I don't put too much thought into it, because, I'm not the one who has to say that I am a role model, because other people have to decide to have me as a role model or not. I'm not that... snobby or posh to say, oh, yeah, I'm a role model. In a way, I think that I could be, for whoever consider me a role model, because I perfectly showed how a band coming from a territory which is not rock metal at all, which is Italy, can make a dream come true, can literally take the balls out and like work hard and make it real. We are the perfect example. We're one of the rare examples of a band coming from Italy doing something abroad. And this is because we really, really, really worked hard, and we kind of set up our career in a way that the look is important, but at the same time, you don't have to cross the line and make it just about the look, because then you would lose respect. But it's never been like a point of pressure for us, because the way I use my look, for example, is always in a way that can send a positive message to the girls out there. You know, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be super beautiful. And at the same time, you don't need to be slutty, because sexiness is something also about imagination. It's also something that you don't reveal completely. But that's my point of view. So the girls that are sharing my opinion can use me as a role model, and some others not.
I think it's a fantastic way of looking at things. Obviously, you guys, you know, you've done exceptionally well. But do you think that it's been a lot harder for you to prove yourself, because obviously you are female in what is pretty much a male-centered industry?
No, not really, because I'm really fierce. And I think that there is a chance for everyone in this world, and whoever is trying to bash you, to put you down, usually they are the losers that are not going to build anything in their life. So I don't really care about this type of criticism, because if you listen to our music, or if you come to a show and tell me, oh, you know what, I don't really like your music, I don't think you're a good singer, I just don't like you guys, I will be like, whatever, it's your taste. But if you criticize me for just being a female, I mean, literally your opinion doesn't count just a teeny tiny bit in my life. And I never, ever encountered any person who really, like, lacked me of respect. I always got a big respect from the people in this business, because I'm really professional and I try to deliver the best I can.
Well, that's really, really inspiring to hear. So, I mean, thank you so much for taking me.
You're absolutely welcome. Thank you for having me, and it's been nice talking to you.
It's a pleasure. Obviously, we can't wait to see you.
Me too. I'm so happy to be here. I wish I could stay more days here, but...
Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed for that happening very, very soon.
Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you
All right. Bye-bye. See you in October.
See you
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.